Us too. For myself, Speaker, that summarizes the dual levels of perception and experience, and I feel that it's a privilege and blessing to be a part of a province, a society, a party, and now a government that honors and values its multicultural heritage. In particular, as part of our mandate, a government that is striking a new immigration and labour market agreement with the federal government and going to allow qualified and internationally trained tradespeople and professionals to work here in their chosen field, here in their chosen province. Some comments to you, the people of Ontario, as a physician, writer, and a participant in medical media, having published in my own local Etobicoke Guardian and also as a former medical contributor to the Globe and Mail. It was Joseph Stalin, not a friend of democracy, who thought that writers were the engineers of human souls. That was his phrase. And he thought that the writer's mandate was to awaken, incite, and occasionally propagandize. And I think the press here at times furthers the government's agenda, but very often at times challenges the government's agenda. And I think that's great, because we in the government here feel that we will be honest with Ontarians, giving them the straight goods on the challenges that we all face, again, embodying the visions of integrity, industry, and intelligence. I think part of the pleasure of being a broadcaster or a writer or a person engaged with the media is dealing with people with an audience, a readership, a listenership that is alert and informed. And that's why, Speaker, I'm proud to be part of a government that will increase the learning in the public education sector till age 18 and will reduce class sizes and freeze tuition fees in universities and colleges, because we know, Speaker, that that's the only way we'll be able to compete in a knowledge-based economy, and best as able we are to guarantee prosperity and contentment for the future. It's together with Ontarians, Speaker, as we write a new chapter, that we will be the authors of our own destiny. I speak now, Speaker, under one of the final headings as an MPP and parliamentary assistant. I'd like to once again bring to your attention, and through you to the people of Ontario, some of the great riches found in the riding of Etobicoke North, be it residential or in the service industry or the commercial enterprises. In particular, as an example, we have in my riding alone, Speaker, Etobicoke General Hospital, Humber College, and Woodbine Racetrack and Slots. So you can quite easily, Speaker, engage in Etobicoke North in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's a great place for both old and new Canadians, vintage and recent Canadians. And I'm reminded, Speaker, that even during this most recent election campaign in September, October, that I had the privilege of campaigning in my own riding in 9 languages, including English, French, Urdu, Punjabi, Italian, Arabic, Spanish, and Somali. And it's the message that we brought forth then as the Liberal Party and now as the government, that people responded to the message and whose imaginations were captured. And I'd like now to just recognize for a moment some of the visionaries who shared with me their hopes and dreams and struggles in Etobicoke North. People like Jack and Pauline Helferty, people like Kevin and Lisa Malcolm, and Gary Singh, and Dr. Naseem Mahdi, and Dil Muhammad and the Gilani Group, and Tony Vlasopoulos, and Omar Farouk, and Osman Ali, and Sukhdev Randhawa, and Charles Sachdev, and Jagdish Grewal, and Manjinder Singh. People, sir, who embody the best that is Ontarian, the best that is Canadian. I would also like to salute for a moment some of my counterparts in other levels of government. The federal member of Parliament, the MP for the area, Mr. Roy Cullen, as well as the most recently re-elected Councillor Suzanne Hall. And it's a special privilege, sir, to be part of a government and part of the vision, the McGuinty vision, a premier who is bringing to bear many of the instruments of government, and that's why I'm privileged to be the parliamentary assistant to the now-be-created Ministry of Children's Services. An issue, sir, that is of prime importance to this government as well as to the Premier, and I may also mention to the incoming new Prime Minister, Mr. Paul Martin. And I'm privileged, sir, to serve under the very capable and ever-enthusiastic and energetic Minister for Children's Services, the Honourable Marie Butriani. So, Speaker, Honourable Ministers, fellow parliamentarians, and through you, Speaker, to the people of Ontario, I've had an opportunity to rhapsodize some of the philosophy, underpinnings, positioning, mindset that I've had and have developed over several years as a Liberal, as a physician, as a South Asian hyphenated Canadian, as a writer, someone engaged with the media, as well as an MPP and a parliamentary assistant. And once again, it's with a sense of history and duty and great solemn responsibility that I beg leave to conclude my remarks for an address and reply to the speech from the throne. Thank you, sir.